to Friday Night Football in Brazil, right? Something weird like that.
Sao
I think it's Brazil.
Paulo.
Kansas City versus the LA Chargers. Another divisional matchup here. The LA Chargers, with Jim Harbaugh Jim Harbaugh, excuse me, at the helm last year, an 11 win team, like a really good football team last year, right? So exceeded expectations by kind of all accounts, as far as I'm concerned, at least. This was the Chargers. They were kind of a defensive minded team. Like, they were number 4 in defensive success rate and echo rate allowed. And that was kind of the big surprise, at least in my mind, because you have Herbert at the helm, a lot of weapons with Lad McConkey kind of coming out of nowhere, right? Having a huge rookie season. But Steve, the big difference between these two teams last year was that offensive success rate. KC, we know Mahomes and he's inevitable and all this type of stuff. Number 4 success rate for KC, 29th for the LA Chargers. So again, this is one we'll talk about a little more in depth when we get to the model plays. This is one that's on our card officially, and the number that we got cannot be had anymore. But that all being said, what is your expectation for what's going to happen in Sao Paulo?
I mean, listen, death, taxes, and Chiefs beating up on little brother LA Chargers. Chiefs has won 7 straight against the Chargers. We know this is just a matchup that no matter how much Chargers fans want to believe, they just can't overcome that barrier. But on the LA side here, we got Najee Harris going to, making his debut for the Bolts here. Game time decision. He has been cleared for contact. He has looked good all week. He's coming off that 4th of July injury with the fireworks, which, for the love of God, NFL players, put the fireworks down, man. First, it was Najee. Yeah, Jason Pierre-Paul, just put him down, and it's not worth it. We also got Quentin Johnson out of protocol. He's been cleared for contact. He's looking like he's going to be ready to suit up for week 1, along with Keenan Allen coming back to LA from my beloved Chicago Bears, already voted captain, so he has that chemistry with Herbert. On the Chiefs side, remember, Rashee Rice is suspended for the first 6 games for the personal conduct violation via the car crash, and Hollywood Brown, he missed most of 2024 with that shoulder injury. He's at no preseason snaps. Andy Reid has come out and said he's not really concerned about him. He's a veteran. He can kind of fit back into that offense. We will see. What I foresee happening, we'll talk about the actual spread pick, but I think I have something here where it's going to be my off-the-numbers pick for the total. Harbaugh has already said it first. It's 3 yards and a cloud of dust. LA is going to run the damn ball. They're going to feed it to Najee. They're going to feed it to Omarion Hampton, the number 1 draft pick, the first-round draft pick, excuse me, and they're going to try to do play action off of that. We also have seen this with the lack of Hollywood Brown sort of chemistry, if you will, and with Rashee Rice being gone. Yes, they still have Xavier Worthy, but are they going to be able to tear the top off these defenses? You've heard the narrative for the last 2 years. The league has adjusted to Kansas City. Back when they had Tyreek, it was too high safety, really kind of contain them. Are they going to be able to get past that second level and have explosives this year? So that being said, I'll save my pick for later, but that's kind of the game state that I see.
Okay, so Seth, let's just maybe talk about this one, since again it's on the model plays for week 1 here. So we got a 2.5 minus 110, cannot be had anymore. Has moved to the 3. So what do you? I mean, from where this opened, and it's kind of moved through that key number here. Is it, or what is it rather, in your opinion, that has moved it? And what do you think the market is buying, frankly?
Yeah, and I was able to snipe them, and I got a minus 2.5, minus 105. So this is the interesting thing. When you start to break these teams down, and we talked about it all season, Mahomes is inevitable, because when you look at the stats, they don't really make sense. And here we are, week 1, and we have to kind of make sense of all this. KC was 9th. The 9th best offensive team, but defensively, like you said, the Chargers were 8th. And then when we look at KC defensively last year, they actually struggled. 21st best defense, but LA Chargers were the 13th best offense. Questions I have for Chargers: they're going to run the ball. I agree with you, Steve. They were pass rate under expected of 3% last year, so they were running the ball 3% more than an average team. The question I have this year is that going to be because of choice or because they don't have anyone to throw it to? I don't know that signing Keenan Allen, old man Allen, at this point is actually a big data point for me, and it's a little bit concerning because that to me means they don't have a lot of other options. We know that there's been injuries at the offensive line. Another question. That being said, this is a divisional matchup. I understand it's on a neutral field, but Brazil, that kind of throws a wrench in this. But I think the reality is Kansas City makes sense as a 3-point favorite, and the market looks to be agreeing here. It moved from 2.5 to 3, then to 3.5. All the 3.5s got taken out. And quite frankly, I agree with that. I think this is a divisional matchup. Field goal is very, very probable. I think the plus 3.5 for Chargers, if you can get them, I think is not a bad bet. But obviously, we're on the minus 2.5. I think this just ends with Mahomes doing what he needs to do to win by field goal in that classic divisional matchup status. But there's a lot of questions on both sides of the ball, and we're going to get a lot of answers pretty quickly.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah, and to your point, yeah, Chargers kind of being in that middle ground of tending to run the ball more. KC is basically the antithesis in the most extreme sense, the number 2 pass rate over expected team last year. So probably expect more of the same, right? Why not just give the ball to your best player and let him do some damage, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So, all right, 2 games in the books: Thursday night, Friday night. Before we get to Sunday, don't forget, guys, make sure you're liking the video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel.